Mm. Well, hello, everybody. So glad you're with us here on a Friday. It is Longshore and McKnight, the live edition. We're so glad everybody's joined us here today. And if you catch us throughout the day, that is even better. We're here for you to make it on your schedule. I'm here at Stivers Ford in Montgomery, where Price sells cars. Barry in another hotel. The hotel points are racking up this week for Barry.
Yep. I am in Mobile, Alabama right now after a long bus ride from Monroe, Louisiana yesterday, and getting ready for a big one tomorrow between Troy and South Alabama. Troy's in first place in the Sun Belt Conference. South Alabama lost last night, so they're, I think, in third. Right now, it's a rivalry game and all of that. Getting to that point of the season, there are just, well, for Troy and for a lot of schools, there are 3 games left in the regular year. We're getting to that point where, you know, if you're going to make your mark, you better start making it now. And if you want to make your deal, then we got a place for you to go, but you better get there while the selection is great. Yeah.
It's truck month here.
It is.
Truck month sells a bit. You can see it right there behind me here at Stivers Ford. It's always truck month, but February is a big deal as well because the F-150 is America's best-selling truck, has been for 50 years. I mean, just think about that for a minute. 50 years, not another truck line has been able to top the F-150 because of its durability, its dependability, its good looks, great prices, all the features that you want. Comes in so many different styles and colors and trim levels, different packages. You can't beat the F-150. That's why you see so many of them around on the highways and byways. There's a lot of smart people, and the smartest get their F-150s here at Stivers in Montgomery.
Somewhere in our history, there was a gentleman who comes home from work one day.
Okay.
Got a wife and a small boy, let's say. Comes home from work, puts his briefcase down, picks up his little boy, and Daddy, there's a boy at school who says that you don't sell the nation's best-selling truck in America. Well, no, we're not. We don't, but we sure are going to be trying, son. Right now, though, that kid is 50 years old.
Yeah, he is.
He's got a wife, he's got a kid, he may have a grandchild by now. I mean, Pops is a great grandfather. That kid has never lived a day in his life where his dad has sold the number one selling truck in America because of that F-150 that Ford keeps putting out.
Yeah.
The dad said the dad he's lost his dream. He's like, it's never going to happen now. I don't know.
I know you're very similar to my son got his driver's license in Alabama. He'd still not lost to Tennessee. He couldn't figure out what the big deal was. Wait a minute, Pops. I hear all this Tennessee business.
Right.
Bama beats them every year, and I'm about to get a driver's license. I went, whoa, tap the brakes, young man.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Hold
on. Let me tell you about a time.
Yes. Well, Tennessee has beaten Alabama since then, famously.
Yeah, that's right.
And they stand a decent chance of doing it again this year. I got to tell you, John, and I live in a world where there's always constant hope and constant positivity. John, ain't nobody ever going to sell a truck that's going to outsell the Ford F-150 in America. Not only has it not happened for 50 years, John, it ain't close to happening anytime soon either.
Yeah.
So,
well, Barry could also say the same about the Explorer and the Expedition, the Bronco, all the SUV lineup as well is so popular. And for so many reasons, we just laid them all out. I mean, obviously great looking, the styling, the options, the different packages that come with it, but they're just dependable. And of course, they're priced right and people love them. And they just handle so many, whether you got a big family, small family, whatever, they've got something for you. In their truck, their SUV lineup, their automobile lineup. You just can't beat it. The Ford Motor Company doing great things, and certainly here in Montgomery at Stivers, great things are happening. Of course, some expansion going on as well. Kelly and I were talking about that before we got on the air today. If you drive by the Stivers location here, where the Troy Highway meets the Southern Boulevard here in Montgomery, you'll see a lot of construction. Now, it won't disrupt your car buying experience because it's kind of going on to the side, or it's not right here in the heart of the Stivers campus, as they say. but there's a lot of construction going on. And of course, that is to better your buying experience here at Stivers in Montgomery. So,
yep.
a lot going on. And the reason is because so many people have trusted their transportation needs to the good folks here at Stivers Ford in Montgomery.
Well, there's some good news, bad news in the world of sports. Part of the good news is that our chat line is up and running. I mean, they're full of questions for us.
Love it.
This morning. Full of questions
out here. It's a good day for questions today, Barry. You know, Ralph Michaels is playing golf today. He's not going to be able to join us, so that'll free us up for a lot of questions on the River Region Straw chat line.
And we'll answer them as best we can. Bill from Way Offside's Jeff. He says, Barry, who hooks up all the remote equipment for John when you're gone? Let me tell you, Jeff, this is one of my favorite points of pride out there. You know, John has evolved. He does it himself. Yeah. If there's anything of the many things I'm proud of about this program, if there's anything that I'm most proud of on a personal level, John, I mean, he's like C-3PO now. I mean, you know, he gets, you know, he can get the little soldering gun back there with the little mask over his face, and he's back there doing this and the ratchet and, you know, ratchet wrench and all that kind of stuff. John can do it. He doesn't like people to know he can do it because in the past they used to make him do it. We don't need to send everybody out there. John can do it.
Don't even get me started on that story. Oh, how that started. I remember looking at the guy and going, you don't need to come out here and set this up. We can do it ourselves. And I looked at him and said, are you insane? What are you doing? But, Jeff, I've just watched Barry over the years. I've just really paid close attention. Hadn't said anything. But I just kind of paid attention, mentally took some notes, and kind of figured it out. You know, Jeff, I'm going to go as far to say I have seen enough movies and watched enough videos. I actually think I could land a plane if the pilot got sick. I mean, I know that's a stretch, but I really think I could do that. You'd have to kind of talk me down a little bit, but I think I can land a plane.
That happened on Snakes on a Plane. I think it was Kenan Thompson or something that had to do that because he was so good at it on his video game. Yeah. Now, this also from Bill from Baltimore. Another question. Will the Phantoms' daily dog involve a first game of spring training? Have any inside info about who's playing most of the game? Today is the start of spring training in Major League Baseball. There are games, 37 total spring training games across the Grapefruit League in Florida, the Cactus League in Arizona. Yankees and the Orioles are playing. Here's what I also like about this. Major League Baseball today, spring training. They're playing today in, I don't even know where it is, maybe Fort Myers. Yeah, Fort Myers. The Minnesota Twins. Again, you know, everybody's just showing up. You know, they've been spending the off season chasing, you know, skirt or whatever. And they got to start getting busy here.
Got to get busy.
But the Minnesota Twins are playing at 5:05 tonight in Fort Myers, Florida, against the University of Minnesota baseball
team. How about
team.
that?
I like that. The Boston Red Sox are playing at noon today, Central Time, in Fort Myers. The Boston Red Sox against the Northeastern University Huskies, which is a Boston school. They're kind of, you know, goofing around, getting the kinks out a little bit. I love it.
I'm going to turn back the clock. I believe this was in the 70s. Yes, I'm kind of sure it was in the 70s.
Right.
The New York Yankees came to Tuscaloosa to play the Alabama baseball team. There's a very famous picture of Reggie Jackson and Coach Bryant.
Bryant.
When they came to play, Coach Bryant was a big baseball fan. Loved baseball. His grandson, Mark, who I grew up with, played a lot of baseball, and they went to baseball games together. And I don't know who won the game. I guess the Yankees might have, but
that's not the point.
It's interesting that you bring that up because I don't hear a lot of that going on anymore like it used to, or maybe it did in the 70s as much. But that was kind of cool.
And also, this from our great friend Dudley. Now, his backstory. We've known Dudley since he was, one?
Oh, yeah,
2
easily.
years old, one of our favorites. He says, what's Auburn's record going to be the rest of the regular season? Well, here's the thing, Dud.
Yeah.
See, what had happened was, Auburn has got Kentucky tomorrow at home.
And is a favorite in that game, Barry. 2.5 point favorite at this mark.
There is no way.
Yeah.
Okay. More on that later?
Possibly. Yeah.
Maybe there. They have got that. They are 5-game losing streak right now. They are 5-8 and solidly on the bubble, on the lower bubble, on the outside edge of the bubble. After the loss on Wednesday.
I don't want to tip my hand here, Barry. I think they're begging you with Auburn just laying 2.5 to give it to Kentucky. Kentucky's not playing well this year either. To me, though, Auburn can get right tomorrow. Back home in the friendly confines of Neville Arena. I will be looking to see if there's any empty seats tomorrow, though.
You always
hear about sellouts.
You always
do. But then they have to travel to Oklahoma. They travel to Alabama at the end of the year. Ole Miss and LSU are sandwiched in between those two games. Definitely winnable at home. Ole Miss and LSU. I mean, to me, Barry, Auburn could their next 5. I could see them going 4-1.
Oh, bless your heart. I got them going 2-3.
Ooh.
And again, Dudley, I got them winning 2 games the rest of the year. Maybe 3. Man. Maybe the Kentucky. Maybe I don't know anything, but maybe Kentucky, Auburn can win that one.
Barry, I got to tell you, you've been a little hard on the Aubs this week. I mean, in the starting 5, you didn't have a lot of faith. The last 5 in basketball, you're not having a lot of faith here. Wow.
But it's not wins and losses, Dudley. They just got to start playing better, and the other stuff will take care of itself,
Yeah, I'll say this. I'm sure everybody watched CBS 8 last night with Lindsey Bonner and myself. If you didn't, you missed it.
I talked to Lindsey earlier this week. She's great.
Yeah, she's good. She does a great job.
Oh, she works hard.
And, you better believe it. And we showed some clips of the Auburn-Mississippi State game as we were recapping it and looking ahead. I don't know if it was just a coincidence that those were the clips that Lindsey pulled for us to talk about. But I got to tell you, Barry, the defense that Auburn was attempting to play was embarrassing.
Not there. Yes. And that's
you've heard an offensive line coach use the term that was an Olay block, like a matador. Olay. Right. That's what I saw out of this Auburn defense against State. I mean, it was like, should I go over there and guard this guy or just kind of stand here? It was unbelievable. I couldn't believe what I was seeing.
Yeah. And again, in a world of irony in which we live in, yes, for those of I feel badly because I know a lot of John's friends. And, unlike me, who lived in like 14 different places when I was growing up, John's a Montgomery guy. He grew up with he's got friends that he's known, John, since he were like 3 or something like that.
Yeah.
And they're looking, they're laughing right now at each other. They're texting at each other. Hey, look, Longshore is criticizing somebody else's defensive effort in basketball. In the world of irony, this is really resonating with them. Because when the other team had the ball, when John was playing, he had one focus. It's like, okay, when we get the ball back, throw it to me so I can go shoot it. Here's the deal. And I'm down on Auburn. I get it. I am so frustrated with how poorly they're playing, especially effort and defense. And they've got, locker room problems, and it's not good. It's not good.
No.
I have a feeling.
When there's locker room problems at Auburn, there's one guy that really focuses in on that. And for the record, I've been kind of, holding off.
My idea is that the television networks and the SEC are kind of shoving Auburn to the side here, like, ooh, nothing to watch here. Janai Broom ain't walking through that door. Bruce Pearl, let's focus on because get this. 5 games left. In the Sun Belt, we've got 3 regular season games left. In the SEC, they got 5.
Yep.
Kentucky, 7:30 tip-off. Oklahoma, 8 o'clock tip-off. Ole Miss, 7:30 tip-off. They play their final home game on March the 3rd at Neville Arena against LSU, 9 o'clock.
Who thought that was a good idea?
9 o'clock at night. Have you heard of that? And then, of course, the Alabama game in Tuscaloosa is at 7:30. They're pushing Auburn to the side and saying, finally, we don't have to talk about Auburn anymore in basketball, it looks like. And they're
now,
that's unfair. Once again, the SEC office is putting it to Auburn, is just putting the screws on them.
I just don't see
a conspiracy.
Way. I'm just not seeing it that way. Doesn't everybody have to play a game at that time slot every now and then?
Dudley says, I got him going 1-4. You got him better than me. I got him 2-3, Dudley. John's got him 4-1 in his land of strawberry ice cream and lullabies and stuff.
They're gonna beat if they don't beat Ole Miss and LSU at home. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
And tomorrow sounds like a trap. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Barry, I will say this. If the Auburn fan base, that loyal, dedicated, bada, kick them in the butt, big blue fan base, has basically just said, I'm out. And they've kicked this team to the curb, then I'm going to reevaluate. But I haven't seen that yet. Hey, Barry, these Auburn fans. I mean,
I do.
They're dedicated.
Well,
they're dedicated.
And Dudley, great to have him with us. There's some chat on there. Ty says, Dudley Lucky, please ID yourself. What do you want? His name's Dudley Lucky. We've known him since he was a baby,
Hey, we'll vouch for this guy. We know him. Yeah.
His name's Dudley. Last name's Lucky. Well, I mean, what do you want? I don't think can you take a picture of his driver's license and send it? That's his name.
Yeah.
Anyway,
we will vouch for him.
Great guy.
He's a great young man.
Yeah.
So, Barry, we're here at Stivers Ford in Montgomery, where Price sells cars. As I mentioned earlier, you can see behind my right shoulder, truck month sales event going on, Bronco owner experience. A lot of good stuff there as well. Incredible selection of cars, trucks, and SUVs. Look, we've said this before. If you want to go kick some tires somewhere else, go knock yourself out. But you're going to end up right back here at Stivers because of the selection, the great service, the sales associates, and bottom line, Price sells cars. You see so many people with that Stivers sticker on the back of their vehicle or that plate in the front. Why? Because they've had a great experience here at Stivers, and we know you will as well.
Check me on this, John. Today, when we go through our starting five, we're going hotty-totty today, right?
Yes, Ole Miss, the Rebels are our starting five. We'll do that later today as well. And also today, Barry, just going to get you, get everybody ready for this. And I know there's some people out there that don't like this. But, we feel we're obligated here at Longshore McKnight to just break it down and give you the facts.
Facts.
I've said for years, Barry, don't give me this, we had the number one ranked recruiting class. We're great. Let's go back and look a couple of years after the fact. Well, someone has done that. Someone has been listening to us, and they dug deep and had an investigative report, and we're going to examine it later today. So just letting you know, whoever you root for, your team might not be in the spot that they were 2 or 3 years ago when you were blowing party favors and popping off streamers and all that kind of stuff. Just saying.
All that coming up. It's Longshore and McKnight. John is at Stivers Ford Lincoln, Eastern Boulevard of the Troy Highway in Montgomery. I am in Mobile, Alabama. I have been on the road for what seems like 2 solid weeks. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Known by avid golfers as one of the most beautiful and challenging stops on the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, Cambrian Ridge in Greenville lies just 40 miles from Montgomery. It is well worth the ride for any golfer looking for 27 holes of jaw-dropping golf. The greens have been redesigned to accommodate the higher green speeds associated with their installation of the latest generation of ultra-dwarf Bermuda grass. Cambrian Ridge offers a fully stocked pro shop with all the latest equipment and apparel. Great food and beverages in the clubhouse can be enjoyed both before and after your round. Get your group together and hit the trail. Go to rtjgolf.com/Cambrian Ridge for tee times and more information.
Hey, bro, weirdest thing is happening at the game. This guy sitting next to me says, "You're our good luck charm. Every time I crack a Bud Light, we score a touchdown." Now his entire family wants to buy me Bud Lights. I think I'm some kind of a football prophet. Talk soon. The team needs me.
Anything for Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Stock up today. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Why Hands? At Hands Heating and Air, you get this area's highest ranked service provider with 24-hour repair service, no overtime charges, and their same-day service guarantee. Plus, instead of other companies' 30-day repair warranty, Hands gives you a 3-year repair warranty. Hands Heating and Air is here for you 24/7, 365. And service is not just something they do, it's their way of operating, for you in mind. All of Hands employees are trained to adhere to this standard. They work hard to ensure that this standard is maintained, and they are constantly looking for new ways to better serve you. Call Hands Heating and Air today at 508-5382. That's 508-5382, or find them on the web at 834hands.com.
Okay, welcome back in, everybody. Glad you're with us. 21 minutes past the hour on this Friday. We, of course, want you to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, tell all your friends, tell all your associates. Really appreciate that, spreading the word for us here. And, of course, you can check us out at Yellowhammer News and yellowhammernews.com, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, X, Spotify, Apple Tunes. So many ways to view and listen to what we do here each and every morning live. So if you can't catch it live, you can catch it on your schedule. That's the beauty of this new format. You listen, you view when it's convenient for you. Now, if you're driving, we don't want you to watch us while you're driving. We want you to listen to us, but don't put that phone up there and say, hey, look at those two guys. Pay attention to the road. Just listen to what we're doing. Because, Barry, over the years, we've been told there's been things that, well, I'll admit it, have come out of my mouth that make people kind of swerve and hit the gas real quick, or, do something while they're driving that they should not do. Yeah. Oh, hit that mic. There we go.
People have texted me before and said, man, I'm at the intersection of Vaughn Road and the Eastern Boulevard.
Uh-huh.
And this is back in the radio days, and it's so funny. Every time it's time for the Phantom in the fall, I see people pulling over all over the place. You got those service roads over there, like between the Colonnade and the Eastern Boulevard, or over there by Party City and the whatever it is, the Staples over there. I see people pulling over all the time, which is responsible, which is what we want.
Yep.
And in this day and age, people aren't writing down what the Phantom's got to say. They're putting it like in the notes app on their phone, or heck, they just got the phone to their ear, or the phone in the no talk mode. I mean, in the hands-free mode.
That's right.
And they're listening to the Phantom, and they're just going ahead and calling their man right there. Just be responsible when you listen to us, because there are times when John will say something and you're thinking, am I in la? I'm okay, right? Because John just said something that's so incredibly hard to believe that I'm thinking there's something wrong with me or something.
So be careful when you're particularly today, because it is raining here in Central Alabama. So be careful out there.
Yes.
All right, Barry, I got a couple of text on the VIP River Region Straw text line.
Yes, right.
The first one asked, how many hats does Barry take on a long road trip with Troy?
Yeah,
this is like the third or fourth different hat he's worn this week.
Well, yeah, I've been on the road for 3. I mean, I've been on the road for 4 days, but I've been on the show on the road for 3. Last week, famously, when I was in Texas and Mississippi, that was 4 days. Out of the last 10 days, I've been on the road 7 times, and it's 2 different trips, obviously, but I always, take my stuff that I wear during the games, and, you always wear sweats and stuff on the bus, but I always pack a couple of extra shirts for the show, and I've got like 4 different hats that I wear because, I've got a roommate, and I'm not getting up at 5:30 and taking a shower and waking him up and everything, so I just put a ball cap on. So on this trip, I got 4, but I've worn 3.
How about that?
And last week I had 4, and I wore all 4 of them and everything. So
there you have it.
One thing I've got I've got a ton of hats. If you ever, we've talked about this before many years. If you've been in media as long as John and I have, particularly radio in your career, you're going to get a lot of different things. You're going to, if you want, John throws them all away. Koozies, keychains, and hats and bumper stickers. You know, I mean, we've got guys that we used to work with on some of our other radio stations that I don't think they ever wore anything except station T-shirts and station hats and stuff like that.
You know, Barry, I never did that because
never did.
I had a problem with said radio group wanting me to pay out of my own pocket for a shirt, jacket, hat, whatever it may be, with their logo on it for me to promote their product. Wait a minute. You should give me the shirt to go promote your product. But they didn't see it that way, so I didn't buy any of them. So probably we didn't see eye to eye. Well, we didn't see eye to eye on a lot of things now that I think about it.
I'm sitting there on that conference table when, you know, that guy with the big Adam's apple, he's about 6'3", about $125, and you know, he's telling John, you know, if you were a true company guy, you would you know, you would promote your career by, you know, purchasing one of our logos.
I said something about FM, and then the conversation stopped.
It was something along the lines. I'm thinking, John, don't say that. That's not even anatomically possible what you're telling him to do. So stop it. You know.
All right. The second thing on the VIP. Text line.
Well, we got a lot of questions today.
This one hits home. This one's tough.
Yeah.
This made me think about Phillip this morning. Friday, looking ahead to the weekend, Kentucky coming into Neville. But this is where it got me, because we all know, Barry, that Phillip covered and loved Auburn softball. And I get a text on this River Region Straw VIP text hotline. Bottom of the third, 2 outs, UCLA 17, Auburn 0. A 14-run third inning for the Bruins. But there is some good news, Barry. Auburn homered in the 5th to cut the lead to 22.
Are your guys, and I mean, they are insatiable. They're like money. They never sleep.
Yeah.
Are they now delving into softball smack?
Well,
is this?
You know, I can't speak for them, but I got to tell you how appreciative I am of the little nuggets they send my way.
Oh my gosh!
I got to tell you, Bear, I would have never known that UCLA scored 14 in the third against Auburn in softball yesterday.
You wouldn't have even known that the softball season has begun.
Fair point. No doubt about it. But tough week. I mean, it's been a tough week. Maybe things turn around tomorrow against Kentucky. I seem to be the only one that thinks that can happen around here. I'm hearing 1-4. 2-3 the remaining 5 regular season games. I don't see it. I think Auburn. I think Stephen Pearl lights a fire under this team tomorrow. And don't let the Big Blue intimidate you. I mean, come on. This isn't the Kentucky of Adolph Rupp anymore. I mean, this is Joe B. Hall. I mean, come on.
We're talking Auburn softball. Here's the other deal about it. The final score. It was run rule, thank gosh. In 5 innings, UCLA 23 and Auburn 1. That's the final score. UCLA's top 10, by the way.
How do you score 18 runs in 1 inning? I mean, can nobody get you out? I mean, really?
You probably did that in Church League softball over at Lagoon Park. It's in a tournament. Auburn, Oregon, UCLA, BYU, Washington, Cal State, Fullerton, and Cal.
Where is this taking place?
That's where I'm getting to.
Yeah.
In a place I've never heard of it before called the Big League Dreams Complex in Cathedral City, California.
Well, that dream turned into a nightmare yesterday for the Lady Hawks softball team.
Do you think for a moment that athletic director John Longshore would have signed off on a trip? All of the teams are Western teams: Oregon, UCLA, BYU, Washington, Cal State Fullerton, and Cal, except Auburn. Do you think athletic director Longshore would have signed off on a 6-game,
no way,
3-day tournament for the softball team in Cathedral City, California?
I want to say that's near L.A. Cathedral City kind of rings a bell. I've heard of it. I'm not for sure, but I kind of think it's near L.A., but check me on that. Barry, I'm going to tell you how extensive the River Region Straw VIP text line
It's unbelievable.
One girl for UCLA went 3 for 3 with 6 RBIs in 1 inning. She's like the MVP of the game.
Who in the world? How do you guys even do this? Don't you people have lives? I mean, are you sitting there feeding John information about?
I probably can't share this next
about softball.
About a former coach that got in a little trouble with those players, but we won't go there. That was all right. I think we've said enough already.
All right, let's see. Here we go. Ramsey Suarez.
Okay.
For UCLA, 3 for 4, 7 RBIs. Alina Garcia. 3 for 3, 4 RBIs. Garcia and Suarez really.
You got to pitch around them. Can you walk somebody in softball?
Heck yeah.
Okay, just point to first base, coach. So just let them walk.
Anyway, all right. The softball smack has probably run its course by now. I would imagine so.
To be fair, has the Lady Tide played yet? Is their season started?
Yes, it has.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Montana Fouts does not play softball anymore for Alabama. That's the Crimson Tide softball team right now 9-0. 9-0. And they are currently. Let's see. They play on in the Dugout Club Classic starting today against the Elon Phoenix, my old hometown, Burlington, North Carolina.
There you go.
In Tallahassee.
Well,
they got Elon, 2 games against Florida State, 2 games against Elon, and then Dartmouth. So there you go.
See, that very there again, that 9-0 record could be a little deceptive. Who have they played?
Yeah.
Just saying. Some people say, we got to play the teams that are on your schedule. Yeah.
East Carolina, Villanova, Georgia Southern, Elon.
I put Pat Murphy on watch notice the last couple of seasons. Time for them to,
win
hoist
a natty?
that trophy again. Yeah, it's been a minute.
Wait a minute.
So I think it's
are we talking about Pat Murphy, or are we talking? You're talking about the softball coach needs to win a natty. Needs to hoist some. Okay, all right. Just making sure everybody knows which coach he's talking about.
That's right. So we got to they got to tighten it up a little bit up there.
We mentioned basketball. There is plenty of it. Again, Troy plays tomorrow, 3 here at South Alabama. Auburn has a big home game at 7:30 tomorrow night against Kentucky. Alabama is at LSU tomorrow at 5 p.m. on the SEC Network. Tonight, a rarity in basketball, and do not miss it. It's only like the second time this happened in the last 30 years. The top 4 men's teams in the nation face off tomorrow against each other. The top 4 teams. This is this has happened like really, and it just happened. You don't schedule it that way.
Sure.
Tomorrow at 2:00 ABC, number 4 Arizona at number 2 Houston in the Big 12. Followed by number 1 Michigan versus number 3 Duke in Washington, D.C. at 5:30. That's the one that's interesting because they're hot and heavy right in the middle of the ACC schedule. And Duke is playing Michigan.
Yeah, I wonder about that, Barry, because why are they going non-conference in the middle of the season? But here it is, mid to late February.
Yep.
You know, we got about a month before the NCAA tournament begins. More on that later as well.
Yeah.
So I think they got to add some juice to this men's season. We're kind of getting into that lull period with basketball. It's, 5 regular season games to go. There's no more football. I think they're playing in LA on the PGA Tour this week. And, the Olympics are winding down.
Yeah.
Hey, I saw where the women's hockey team won gold.
Yes, they did.
Yeah,
against Canada. Sorry, Gary
Awesome.
Gallant. Sorry, Becky Whetstone. The Canadians fall in overtime. The U.S. scored a goal with like 2 minutes to go to even it up at 1-1, and then they go to overtime and they win it. It was fantastic. But yeah, they, it's not like the ACC Big Ten Challenge or anything like that. They just, props to them. Like John said, they're jazzing it up a little bit. You've got, in the ACC, you've got North Carolina, Syracuse, Florida State, Clemson, blah, blah, blah. And right at the very bottom of the schedule, 5:30, late game, Michigan and Duke tomorrow.
That's
Michigan,
right.
Heck, let's do it,
Yeah, let's do it. So I wonder if it's just, they got lucky or I guess they did. I mean, this was scheduled, a long time ago.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So everything just kind of fell into place for some good hoops tomorrow. Now, I think you made the comment yesterday. You were a little surprised that Bama is playing on the SEC network and Auburn's playing on ESPN.
Yeah, I ascribed that to several reasons. Alabama, 5 o'clock SEC network for one of the hottest teams in the SEC, and one of the hot button programs this year in the SEC. Auburn has Kentucky. Auburn's lost 5 in a row. Kentucky ain't all that, but like John is fond to say, it don't matter.
It don't matter. And Barry, that 5 o'clock tip is one I prefer. If you're going to Tuscaloosa, of course, the game's in Baton Rouge, but the 5 o'clock games,
right?
You can go, you can get back. It's very convenient. They call that the cocktail hour tip, at 5 o'clock. But if it's a Saturday, most people kind of get going about 11:30. So maybe it's not appropriate for a Saturday.
Yes.
But I do like the 5 o'clock. I like the 5 o'clock kickoff as well. I mean, they don't have enough 5 o'clock kicks. I've always wondered. Kicking at 5, game's over by 7:38. You're back home by 10:30. Greg, hello, listen to me. Come on, let's get something going.
Well,
yeah. Now, Tobias, Barry, I don't want to reveal anything here. And maybe we'll touch on this school as well, Tobias. But he's excited about the recruiting recap. We'll probably do that at the start of the next hour, Tobias, to get you ready, and you can hunker down and get your notepad out and follow along with us.
Just to save some time and effort for some of John's friends and operatives in the field, if you work on Auburn softball's recruiting class from 5 years ago and give John a breakdown of the 5 stars and who's panned out and who got hurt and who, got in trouble with the law or whatever, we're probably not going to get to it today. So you may want to save all the rest of your research into Auburn softball, because that's probably as much as as programming will bear here on the show today. You're looking on the left side of the screen. That's John Longshore. In the background, it's Truck Month and the ultimate Bronco owner experience at Stivers Ford Lincoln on the Eastern Boulevard at the Troy Highway. In the background here, I am at a Holiday Inn.
Hey, they got free breakfast, Barry. You better go down there and get you some free breakfast today.
Ends at 9:30, so no messing around on the topic wheel. Whew. So, in Mobile, Alabama, it's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
At Dixie Overhead Door, we specialize in top-quality garage door solutions for homes across Alabama and Georgia. In need of a garage door repair or a brand new garage door installation, our expert team delivers fast, reliable service with local expertise that you can trust, providing customized solutions and exceptional care every step of the way. Visit us today at DixieOverheadDoor.com and experience the Dixie difference.
Where's the beer guy? Bud Light here? You got a Bud Light? Bud Light? I'm here, Bud Light! Bud Light here?
Bud Light here?
Bud Light here?
Bud Light where?
Bud Light here?
Oh, Bud Light there.
I missed that because of you.
You did not miss that play because of me.
Have to stop talking this way?
Yeah.
It's actually kind of fun.
Hey, I got you, Bud Light.
Oh, nice. Never mind. Anything for the clean, crisp taste of Bud Light.
What I miss?
I have no idea.
The Destin Connection Seafood Market at 3750 Norman Bridge Road in Montgomery has the freshest seafood direct from the Gulf of America. I'm talking red snapper and grouper, all sizes of Gulf shrimp, jumbo lump crab meat and crab claws, Louisiana Bay oysters, and New Bedford scallops. They are a full-service seafood market and kitchen serving po' boys, dinners, and sandwiches. You know, many well-known restaurants in the river region purchase their seafood from the Destin Connection because they know it's the absolute best. Call ahead and your order will be ready for pickup. The Destin Connection Seafood Market, 3750 Norman Bridge Road. Call 288-4272. That's 288-4272.
Alrighty, welcome back in, everybody. So glad you are with us here today. What we got here going on with the truck month sales event going on here at Stivers Ford in Montgomery, where Price sells cars. Great selection. It is the best in the business. I can promise you. Look, go ahead if you want to. Scan some other lots.
Yeah.
But you'll end up right back here because the selection, the service, the inventory is unlike any other dealership in the river region and far beyond for that matter. So they've got your vehicle right here, right now at Stivers Ford in Montgomery. Now, Barry, I want to ask you this question.
Man, we've had a lot of questions today.
Yeah.
We're just picking them off like skeet shooting here.
I'm kind of into bias here. I think the breakfast is a scam at these hotels.
I am a big breakfast guy. And the players are down there, they're down there groggy and all that kind of stuff. I always end up coming in late because of the show. And they got everything in there. I'm always eating oatmeal. Oatmeal's the one thing. If they got it, I'm eating it.
It's kind of hard to screw that up, too. You're kind of hard to screw up.
Sometimes it's soupy, but most of the time, oatmeal pretty consistent. But they got stuff in there.
You got to have the fruit. You got to have the blueberries, the brown sugar, the raisins, the dates. You got to have it all.
I don't go with the, they got the walnuts or something. I'm not a fan of that. And I tell you, if there's fruit, it's got to be dried fruit. I ain't putting some of that other stuff in there,
Really?
But I don't know what the scam is. The eggs aren't great. Sometimes the eggs you kind of stay away from because, it could be anything, sometimes they're cooked where you could bounce a 5-pound weight off of them. And sometimes,
if they have like a pancake or a French toast, it's been sitting in a warming tray, so they get a little hard. I'm with you, Tobias. I'm not a breakfast bar kind of guy. Buffet,
The only two other things. Number one, the dress code is non-existent.
True.
You got people coming down. They literally rolled out. They're in their pajamas down there. And number two, everybody who knows me at all knows how much I love children. I work with children, we do a lot of, I love kids.
Yeah.
Don't let a 3-year-old make their own waffle. Don't do that. No. That's dumb. Give them Fruit Loops and or Rice Krispies or something. But I'm over there eating my oatmeal and looking, there's a little 2-year-old kid. He's trying to take that big picture of waffle. And the thing's 1,000 degrees, Mom.
Yeah.
What are you doing? And the kid will either, if he's lucky, he'll spill it all over the bar.
Yeah.
If he's unlucky, he's going to burn the bejeeber belt out of his hand.
That's true.
I'm sitting there. No, hey, let me help you, Brandon. Let me help you, Jaden. Come on.
Come on, moms and dads. Keep an eye out on those toddlers. Make sure they're not messing the whole breakfast bar up.
But I don't get it about the scam. What's the scam about? I don't.
Theotis has hit on something here, Barry, and it's just not at Walmart. Theotis. I'm sure they wear pajamas down at the breakfast bar as well. Unfortunately, I was traveling last weekend. Went through a couple of airports. Did not see this on any of my flights, but people in airports with pajama bottoms on, come on. Well, what are you people thinking about? I don't get it. I'm looking at them, and I look at my wife, and I'm going, is that what I think it is? And she goes, yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah. The big fluffy flannel drawstring pants, and on the back they've got it stenciled in cursive. It says "juicy" across the rear end.
Yes.
No,
I don't get it. I don't get that.
Yeah.
Here's another one. Barry, we have talked about this before, but I cannot remember the name.
It's from our buddy Coach Ed. He says, John, did you ever go to the drive-in movies where Stivers is? Again, Stivers on the corner of the Eastern Boulevard of the Troy Highway.
Okay.
I know you spent some time at the Jet on the Mobile Highway.
Yeah, the Jet.
Drive-in movies.
Theotis, you're going to have to help me with this one, because right where I am sitting right now, currently, about 50 years ago, there was a drive-in movie theater right here.
Like John would be sitting right now where an old Ford Fairlane was sitting, with a guy and a girl necking heavily in the front seat.
I cannot remember the name of the movie theater. The drive-in theater was here. So somebody's got to help me with that. But that's true. Where I'm sitting 50 years ago was a drive-in movie theater. The Jet was at the Mobile Highway. I think they played some movies at the Jet, Barry, that maybe were not family friendly. That way. Yeah, at the Jet. Also, Putt Putt was right down here, so you could go to Putt Putt, then come to the drive-in movie. So
John got the little putter, and he's out there as a like 7-year-old saying, "Place your bets, place your bets."
Yeah. Wait a minute.
That's okay. You can owe me.
Green ball, hole in one, gets a free snow cone. Oh boy, here we go.
Yeah.
So yes, that is true, Coach. But
John had high blood pressure his entire youth because of the free snow cones at the Putt Putt.
Oh boy, and it was only like there was 4 different colored balls, but only 2 of those colors were up for a free snow cone if you made a hole in one. If you had an orange ball and it was not an orange ball color indicated, you didn't get a snow cone. So when that light came up, you really were under pressure, because the time, it only had like 5 minutes that ball was featured to make a hole in one. So you were pressing. It was tough. That's how I kind of learned how to gamble. You got to get it going at Putt Putt. And there's no doubt, Barry, at South Plaza, I don't think so. South Plaza was over there on Woodley Road, or was that Capitol Plaza? Woodley Road in the bypass.
Gosh, that was a long time ago.
But maybe it could have been. Who knows? But
maybe it was South Park.
Yeah, we go play Putt Putt for a snow cone as a kid.
Okay, there we go. All right, awesome. This is like Full Question Friday here. I mean, we have been. It's like John and I are at a congressional inquiry. Next thing you're going to hear, John's going to invoke the Fifth Amendment for the. Otherwise he'll incriminate himself or something like that, like they did in Godfather 2. Whew. Yeah.
That was on last night. It's amazing, Barry. You brought that up. The wife and I were watching Godfather Part 2 last night.
Just as good as the Godfather Part 1. The only thing I would change is they didn't have to off Frito at the end. That didn't need to happen. You send him somewhere,
Sure.
I get it. You're shooting Mo Green through the eye and all, but just give Fredo a break. You know?
Yeah. She didn't like it at the end of Godfather 1 when the daughter's husband gets fingered and he puts him in the car and the guy strangles him from the back seat.
With the Garrett, she
didn't like it. I said, I should have warned you that was coming.
Good.
That was
not
coming.
Good. They shouldn't have done anything to Tessio. They should have sent him off to, Sicily or something like that.
Yeah.
But I love those.
Yes. I don't think they had gangster rehab back then. I mean, if you did something, you knew what the punishment was.
Yeah.
There was no gangster rehab.
There was a prescribed response to everything, and it was usually killing somebody. Yeah.
When we get back, Barry, we're going to go over the.
How about this quick from Coach Ed? Okay. He says, "I'll never forget. I went to see 101 Dalmatians at the Jet, but I left after 2 minutes. It was the adult version." Wait a minute. You have an adult version of 101 Dalmatians?
Coach, back in the day as well, the Capri Theater used to show those kind of movies, and they had Alice in Wonderland, and it wasn't the Walt Disney version.
Oh, with the Mad Hatter, and what in the world did they do with him? Anyway, okay, so anyway, coming up.
Yes.
What do we got? The
Ole Miss Rebels, when we return.
Yes.
We're going to talk a little bit about Ole Miss and their starting five. You know, Barry, they got a big shot in the arm because their quarterback's coming back for another year.
Yeah, but their hotshot transfer, former five-star Auburn quarterback, he's like, what in the world? Last year was a transcendent year for Ole Miss, but they screwed it up at the end with their head coach, or their head coach screwed it up in the end for them. We'll talk about them in 2026.
How about that?
When Longshore McKnight continues. John at Stivers Ford Lincoln, Eastern Boulevard of the Troy Highway in Montgomery, Alabama. I am in Mobile, Alabama, on Longshore McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Ram Truck Month is here at Stivers, Alabama's #1 volume CDJR dealer. New Rams, 19 grand off or 0% for 6 years. And heavy duties, 14 grand off. Backed by Ram's 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty. Only at Stivers Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. The President's Day sales event is on at Stivers, Alabama's #1 volume CDJR dealer. Grand Cherokees under 27 grand or up to 15 grand off. Wranglers, 14 grand off. And Gladiators, 16 grand off. Only at Stivers Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.
On the basketball court, the soccer pitch, or even the golf course, your crew brings their best not just for the win, but for that post-game celebration. When victory tastes like Michelob Ultra, it's worth every drop of sweat. And if you don't win, you'll still get the beer. It's just on you. Superior is worth playing for. Michelob Ultra, 2.6 carbs, 95 calories. Superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025, Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Love is in the air, and so is your chance to win during Victoryland Casino's BMW and $25K giveaway. Drive away in a brand new BMW or win your share of $25,000 in free play. The more you visit, the more chances you have to win. Stop by the Players Club and fall in love with this month's exciting free play promotions. There's more ways to win at Victoryland Casino, where you can be a winner too. Victoryland Casino is located off I-85, exit 22 in Shorter, Alabama. Drawings February 27th and 28th. Must be 21 or older. Must be present to win.
All right, welcome back in, everybody. About 8 minutes to the top of the hour. Barry, it has been confirmed. Kelly has shown me that it was South Plaza. That was the name of the drive-in. I'd forgotten about that, but she let me know that that was where I am sitting right here currently. 50 years ago, the South Plaza drive-in was here.
There is no way, and I know Kelly, there is no way Kelly's old enough to remember the South Plaza.
No way. I think somebody texted it to
way too young for that. Yes.
All right, how about this, Barry? Before we get to Ole Miss quickly.
Yeah.
How about this is one of the photos I was talking about.
All right, let's see from right. Let me see if I can do this. Check me on this. From right to left, Paul Bryant, George Steinbrenner.
Yeah.
Billy Martin. Burt Bank.
Burt Bank. You're right. That's Burt Bank. Yeah.
And in the background, Dave Magadan and Mike Twardowski. I don't know. Yeah. Burt Bank.
Yeah. How about that?
I don't, I met Burt Bank once many, many years ago. And he's one of those guys that you wish that you knew better. I mean, sure. I was right at the beginning of my career. Burt had built a tremendous career in media. He was a war hero. He did a lot of things, huge University of Alabama alumnus and all that. And I remember, like, Eli would tell, this is a little bit before Eli, and they would, Jerry Duncan would have things and talk about Burt Bank and all that. That guy's a hero. I mean, that is one of the, that needs to be on the wall at Sewell Thomas. It needs to be on the wall at the Mal Moore building, because that's pretty good right there.
That's a good one. And that once again came from the River Region Straw VIP text line. We appreciate that.
That is good. Yeah, that is good. Big props on that.
All right. So.
Yes.
Ole Miss.
All right.
Rebels of Ole Miss.
It was a season unlike any other this past year for Ole Miss. 13-2. I don't know that they'd ever won 11 games in a year. They won 13 games, 8-1 in the SEC, They're blowing through everybody. They win the Egg Bowl big in Starkville to close the regular year. And Lane Kiffin hits the gate. He hits the door. Right before the college football playoff. Ole Miss is playing in the college football playoff. And they have to scramble around. Lane Kiffin wants to coach them. And Keith Carter famously and correctly says, no. We want the Ole Miss coach to coach the Ole Miss team, and that's Pete Golding. They beat Tulane in the quarterfinals. They beat Georgia in New Orleans in an epic
game. What a
on
game.
New Year's Day. And then they fall in the very last minute in the Ole Miss was in the Final Four.
Unreal.
In the Fiesta Bowl, and they lose to Miami 31-27, and also a terrific game. That is an all-time season for Ole Miss.
Unbelievable.
13-2.
Yep. But
it was nuts at the end, John.
It was nuts in the end. You're right about that. But I got to tell you, they were fun to watch. Yep. That was a game or a team that was fun to watch. And you said, man, I got to watch this Ole Miss. And there's teams like that. If you go back the history of college football, whether you root for them or not, there were certain teams that you had to watch because they were just fun to watch. They had a style of play that was real interesting and enjoyable to watch. Maybe had some players. I mean, I remember, Barry, back in the Deion years at Florida State, everybody wanted to watch Florida State because of Deion and their antics, the Miami Hurricanes. These guys, whoa, wait a minute, they act like no team I've ever seen before, but they're still beating everybody pretty bad, too.
A year with a gentleman named Kevin Sumlin. Texas A&M, when they had Manziel, I don't think anybody believed they had the depth and breadth to win a national championship. But, man, you watched Johnny Manziel in Texas A&M when you had the chance. John's right. Sure. Ole Miss was that kind of a team. A great year, although it was fractured at the very end. Now Pete Golding is in. You know he's trying hard because Dabo is calling him out for tampering with his players, and his own GM in a private recorded conversation was telling the Clemson GM, look, I told him not to do it, but Pete's going to be Pete. So Ole Miss is kind of finally stepping into the mud puddle. That is what you got to do to win.
I like it. So I'm looking forward to their season this year, Barry. I did not know this until it popped up on the screen of our starting five.
Yeah.
Ole Miss will play their first game in Nashville, and it'll either be on the September the 5th or the 6th. I could kind of see this game, Barry, being that Sunday game because of Ole Miss.
Yeah.
You know, people are, and Trinidad's coming back. I could see that maybe a prime Sunday night game. I don't know what type of team Louisville is going to have. I got to do a little research in the summer.
They're going to be
good. Matchup.
Yeah, they are going to be good. It's in Nashville. I'm with John. I think it's going to be September the 6th, which is a Sunday at Nissan Stadium where the Titans play. Their first five, again, first year of a 9-game conference schedule, 3 games non-conference. They get 2 of them out of the way early. Louisville, which is a good one.
It is. I like it.
In Nashville, and Charlotte, the 49ers in Oxford in week 2. And, of course, at the end of the year, right before the Egg Bowl, they play the Wofford Terriers from Spartanburg, South Carolina. So that's a non-conference game.
So I probably know the answer to this. I'm going to ask anyway, just for clarification.
Yes.
I don't believe the stadium in Nashville, the new dome, will be completed by then. So they'll be playing at the Nissan
Stadium. Yes, that's correct. Okay. Yes, that is correct. Which is a good start. We like that.
Yeah, it is a good one. That's a good game for Ole Miss. Kind of give them some spotlight. I don't know a lot about Charlotte, Barry. I have passed their practice facility before.
Yeah, the Jerry Richardson practice facility. Thank you, Hardee's. Yeah,
that's all I know about Charlotte. So, okay, they'll win that, but I'm going to give them a win against Louisville. But LSU and Florida back to back. Then this is the first time since we've gone through the starting five, Barry. There's an open date. So actually, their starting five will be their 5th game will be a little bit later than most everybody else's.
Yeah, but
they're at Vandy on October the 10th. That'll be their 5th game.
This is, I'm not saying that their SEC start is overly difficult or unfair or, this is what to expect, because let's face it, nobody knows what LSU's got. I think LSU's going to be really, really good. I've been on record.
Yeah.
I think LSU's going to be really good. Lane has hit the transfer portal beautifully. Don't really know, though. It's in Oxford, and that place is going to be Saturday, September 19th. That is going to be absolutely crazy, bonkers, bananas, nuts in Oxford when Kiffin returns with his LSU team to take on Ole Miss. But you don't really know. You don't really know what LSU's got.
Yeah.
Then they go to Florida. Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, the thing with the LSU, I think Ole Miss can be 2-0 out of the gate. But the next two, I think, are interesting because you mentioned all of the build-up, all of the excitement, kind of all the distraction of Lane Kiffin coming back.
Right.
Okay, say you win that game. Then the high that you're on, are you going to be ready to go to Gainesville the next week? And so to me, those two games, one of those games is going to bite you.
I see what you're saying, and I agree. That my main thing about it, and I agree with John, is that you really don't know what LSU's going to have. You really don't know what Florida's going to have. And that's the way it is most of the time anyway in this day of the age of the transfer portal. But, yeah, there's going to be a letdown somewhere. I'm afraid, John, that if Ole Miss loses that LSU game in week 3 and possibly loses it badly, which I don't think they will, that could color the whole rest of the year. I mean, that there certainly could be a hangover next week in the swamp. But, John, there may be a hangover for another month if they lose that LSU game. That is one of the biggest trap games, one of the biggest pitfall games in the starting five for anybody in the SEC.
Yeah, it's a tough one there. I don't know if we've got a screen we can put up to show Ole Miss their schedule here, but those first 5 going to be interesting. There again, I think that LSU Florida back-to-back could be tough. Then they go to an open date. But as we get into it later on in the summer and we look at the schedule as a whole, I'm looking at a stretch later on. It could be a little difficult for the Rebels as well. So we'll see.
Yep. They open up their first 5 games. 2 of them are in Nashville at different stadiums. That's kind of weird.
That is kind of weird. That's a good point. I didn't notice that. That is pretty good.
Yep.
Good deal. So
Vanderbilt after the off week on the road. There you go. This is one of the better ones that we've previewed for Ole Miss because John, it could go anywhere. And they're very talented. I love Trinidad Chambliss. I love, some of the talent they've got on that team. But, man, it could either be really, really good or it would not be the most shocking thing if it can be really, really bad.
It could be. That's what makes it so much fun. So that's Ole Miss for you. Monday, I believe, in alphabetical order, brings us Mississippi State. The Bulldogs is our starting 5 on Monday. So I'm interested. We've gone through about half the league, I believe, in terms of we have. We've gone through half the league. That is 8. The first 8 teams we've gone through in our starting 5. It's interesting, Barry. Our viewers and listeners don't seem to disagree with us much. Now, I disagreed with you on your prediction for Auburn. That one kind of surprised me.
I've got to see something because our history, particularly lately, is all right. This is good. All right, Hugh Freeze, he's going to turn around. This is going to be the year. Last year, man, this is the year after all the recruiting and building back the roster. And it wasn't. Okay, this is finally the quarterback that Freeze needs to really run the offense that he's known for and everything, and it wasn't. So I'm taking the road with Auburn of, all right. I'm prepared to be pleasantly surprised instead of crushingly disappointed on this one. So, yeah.
All right, so let me you said something about LSU that caught my attention. And I don't want this to sound like, well, here it is. He's bringing it all the way back around to Auburn again. I've been accused of that. I don't know. Unfair, that's for somebody else's opinion. But could you say the same thing about Auburn that you say about LSU? Not real sure about this roster. Now, I know half of it looks to be coming from South Florida, but do we know a lot about the Auburn roster?
Not really. And there's so many things to build out on that roster. Byron Brown, I think, is a terrific ad, but he's got to have some pieces around him. I love Jeremiah Cobb at running back. Tay Meadows is a serviceable backup from Troy. Love that kid and all that, but I've been hurt before. I just I don't know much about Golesh.
Yeah, let me quickly scan back here just to take. You mentioned Jeremiah Cobb.
Love that kid. Maybe they'll,
could he be a 1,200-yard rusher? I'm looking at Baylor, Southern Miss, Samford. Arkansas doesn't have a really good defense, or they haven't in the years past. Vanderbilt. I don't know. He could have a really good year on the ground based on some of this competition that they'll face.
Yeah. Hearing good things about Byron Brown and his leadership and his energy and all that kind of stuff. A couple of things I like about Golesh so far. Okay. He's coming in and he is getting after it, building out the roster. I know a lot of it's low-hanging fruit, getting his guys from South Florida, and he absolutely had to get Byron Brown. That would have, number one, he's a really, really good player, and I think he's a good quarterback, knows the system. But number two, if he's trying to build momentum for getting transfers to come in there, and they're saying, well, wait a minute, you didn't even get your all-conference, all-star quarterback to come. If he don't believe in you, why in the world should we believe in you? And also at an event earlier, I guess it was earlier this week, somebody asked Alex Golesh, hey, what about boosters that come in at Auburn and want to contribute money and want to have a say in how the program is run? John, that's a valid question to ask the Auburn head football coach.
You better believe it.
And he says, I'll tell them that we don't want your money. Whoa.
Ooh.
Whoa, you telling me there's an Auburn head football coach who says, we'd love to have you on board. We'd love to have your support. We'd love to have your contribution. But if you think that buys you a say into how we run the program, we wish you luck and we'll just shake hands and say goodbye. I'm thinking,
wait a minute, Barry.
More of that.
You're telling me, just an example, just pulling something out of the sky.
Yeah.
If some booster wants to be on the sidelines during the game and wants to get near the officials when they're conferring with the head coach, he's not going to let them do that, as we've seen happen in years past?
Well, now you can spend money with Auburn, and they'll give you the opportunity for you to bring the football out to the officials at halftime.
Okay.
You can give it to them, and you can have maybe a spot in the to run out the tunnel or something like that.
Do they still offer the dining experience on the 50-yard line
on Friday night? Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Candlelight, John. Candlelight out there. They won't even turn on the lights.
Do they serve Byron's barbecue?
Here we go. When is the pork rind course coming? I know what John's thinking, So, anyway, some good signs for Alex Golesh, but still, I need to see more. I need to see more.
Wow, man, I
need more.
He needs more, and the schedule's tough. We'll get into the full 12-game regular season schedule later on, but those first 5 are going to certainly have a lot to say about it. Waffle House. Waffle House has a portable truck. They could pull it up to Jordan here. They could bring the food into the stadium on the 50-yard line. That's interesting.
Yeah.
All right, when we come back, Barry, and Tobias has been waiting, as have others. Where is your recruiting class ranked now? Don't give me this. 3 years ago, we had the number 1 class.
Yep.
Where are they now?
Yeah. Now it's time for the rubber to hit the road. It's let's keep it right here for the let's keep it right here. We got this from again. Well, look at all the questions we get. Bill from Baltimore says, I just found out I'm going to Austin for work in 2 weeks. Never been before. I trust Barry has, but John, I'm in Austin so many times. I was in Austin last week, as a matter of fact.
I have never been there. I've never been there.
I have been
you're missing some 7 Brew coffee this morning. Just letting you know.
Hey, that's my guy. Hey, get him on camera. Get him behind you here. Come on.
Barry wants a shot of you.
Yeah, come on. There's my guy. Yeah, miss you, Jeff. Appreciate that. Total shocker that he's wearing an Alabama T-shirt, but
yes, he has an Alabama shirt on. That's good. Yeah, it's a good observation.
That's the guy.
Thank you.
I've been in Austin twice. We were in Austin in the fall. We were in Austin last week and all that. And I can't remember the name of the restaurant we ate at during the It was spectacular. I'm going to look for that one. I cannot remember what it was. I'm going to have to look at my.
I hear Austin's a happening town. A lot going on. It's growing leaps and bounds.
This is Austin. Never been. This is Austin. The Austin is the Nordstrom Airport. You'll be not Nordstrom. Nordstrom's a department store. Bergstrom Airport in Austin. And it's different. I mean, Austin is like San Francisco stuck in the middle of Texas.
That's a good way to describe it, I've heard. Yes, I've heard the same thing.
My story about Austin, my first time in Austin was years ago, flying in with the Troy baseball team.
Okay.
And we're sitting in there and everything. Coming back, we're waiting for our flight and everything coming out. And all of a sudden, several of our baseball players perked up, and they're elbowing each other, and they go trotting off to somebody over there in the main terminal. And I'm looking around, and I can't see because they're all gathered around this person. It was it was Bruce Jenner. I can't remember what his name is now, but Bruce is considers himself no longer male. And they were, what was her name? Somebody help me with that. But anyway, they were getting selfies with Bruce Jenner and all that. And I'm thinking, this is Austin. I can tell you that's awesome. And there's a terrific restaurant up on a hill overlooking Austin that we ate at. It was phenomenal. They had lighted menus at this place, which is crazy,
Excuse me.
It was great. It was great.
I went to a restaurant when I was out in California a couple of weeks ago that had menus that lit up. I thought, what a great idea, because I have a hard time seeing some of the menus these days. Hits the glasses. But the lighted menus were really nice. I enjoyed that. Speaking of California, one of my trips out there, I'm flying home from Palm Springs to Dallas, Dallas into Montgomery. And my flight from Palm Springs to Dallas, Bruce Jenner was on the plane with us.
Yeah.
He was still Bruce Jenner back then.
Yeah. His name is Caitlin now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. The name of the restaurant was called the Salt Lick Barbecue. Salt Lick.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So I
check
guess
that out,
Bruce
Bill.
Jenner, he said, what? He won a gold medal in the decathlon? I guess
1976 in Montreal.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. He's kind of a brush with grech, I would say.
Yeah,
you're
right. That was the guy. Yes.
Good to do. And who did I think I had I've already forgotten who I told you I had a brush with greatness with. I saw him, but I didn't speak to him. Golly, who was that recently?
Which does not
count.
Who
in the world was that recently that I saw that I completely missed out on? But it'll come to me in a moment. I'll think of it. All right. So, Barry, I saw this, and anybody can pull this up. I actually forwarded it to our email inbox, Longshore McKnight.
Here we go. Yes. All right.
And it was an article earlier this week. And I thought, man, this is something that really is going to interest me. Re-ranking 2023's college football recruiting class. Okay, now it's 2026, so that was 3 years ago. I'm going to start this way and work my way back, because I'm going for the knockout blow right from the get-go.
As Jefferson Starship sang, he's going to find his way back.
Yeah.
Find your way
so
back.
Barry, in 2023,
Yes.
The University of Alabama's football recruiting class finished number 1. Now, you can go to, was it on 3? Was it Rivals? I would probably say this is the ESPN 300, since this article is written and on an ESPN website. And I've always kind of liked looking at that. Alabama had 23 of the 300 prospects that were on it.
Which is unfair,
Today,
which is obscene, to be honest with you. Obscene.
Finished number 1. As they re-rank them today, they're number 8.
They lost a lot.
Why have we not heard about that?
Of guys. A lot of them. I mean, like all of them, just about.
Yeah. So, all the giddy-hoo, me, hey, we're number 1. Their 3-year record, 32-10 on the field of play.
Yes.
They did win the SEC title in 2023. They did have 2 college football playoff berths. But, Barry, as well as I do, does an SEC title and a couple of college football playoff berths, is that what Bama fan really wants? No.
They pointed out, hey, we've won more SEC titles than anybody and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Whoop-de-doo.
Yeah.
Number 8. When I saw that, I went, ooh.
For some reason, I'm pulling up the email, but I'm not pulling up but the link is not showing me anything. I got to work on that. But
that one there again, I've said it a lot. People don't want to hear it over the years. Let's re-rank these and see where they go. Well, they've done it for you. Alabama finishes 8th right there, which isn't all bad. I get that. But you look, then I know people go, well, who's number 1? A team that finished number 9 in the ranking is now at number 1, and it's probably not too hard to figure out who that team is.
Auburn?
The Ohio State Buckeyes.
Yeah. And they ended up with a couple of players that they didn't even recruit out of high school. That are very possibly 2 of their top 3 players out there.
Yeah, how about
interesting.
that?
I mean, that's not even counting Julian Sayin, who was a Heisman finalist. That's not even counting Caleb Downs, who may be the best defensive player in the nation over the last
He's impressive.
Several years. There. So, yeah.
So that, and there again, I don't want to open up an old wound. Well, yeah, sure I do.
I was about to say, come on.
But is this very another example of you don't have enough money? It's hard to compete. How are you going to catch up with the Ohio States of the world? People don't want to hear it all about money, but I don't know any other reason or rationale of why this is happening. Tobias says you got to blame Kalen DeBoer for that 2023 class.
Why? Why you got? Why you got to? What has he done?
Well,
has he chased them off? Or?
Couldn't retain those guys.
Well, you just lost the best college football coach in the history of the sport, and certainly the best recruiting head coach in the history of the sport. I mean, what do you want?
Bob from Pike Road chimes in, this is what we're looking for.
Yep. Okay,
I'm just giving you the numbers, but Bob looks at it a little differently.
Yeah. Bob says, John. Oh, here we go. Yeah. Saban left. I got it right. Yeah. Saban left in January of 2024. That definitively skews the results of that class on the field. And by the way, 8 is still dang good. And that class had the best player in the 2026 draft, Caleb Downs. All true. It is true. Bob says, why would there be blame for a top 8 class? What an idiotic thought and post. Some people. Well, that's the thing I love about Bob. He is not against calling all of you guys idiots out there.
Yeah.
What an idiot. What an asinine thing to say. Bob don't
love
care.
It, Bob. You tell it like you want to, Bob.
Throw that out there. Yeah, Bob, just
my point being from the get-go. Let's look back. hit that memory sound effect. The harps playing. You kind of think about the past.
Yep.
When Alabama came out ranked number 1, the giddiness, the cockiness, the chest poking out, everybody was thrilled.
Yeah.
Wow, Bama's got the number 1 class. Well, now they re-rank it and 8's good enough now. Would 8 have been good enough 3 years ago? I don't think so.
Now, Bob, are you happy with being number 8 in anything? Is number 8 good enough at the University of Alabama? Earlier in the show, Bob had put Saban had misses in recruiting every year of the 17 years of the dynasty at Bama. The misses did little to nothing to stop the winning of 6 national championships, the dynasty of dynasties. Goodness, I mean, you can get diabetes reading Bob's posts about that stuff.
Keep it coming,
what?
Bob.
Here's the thing, and yeah, you're right, Bob. He did have misses. Saban had fewer misses in recruiting than any coach in the history of the sport. He was not perfect. He had guys that transferred out, guys that weren't very good, guys that weren't very good human beings. But to say, those misses did a little to nothing to stop the winning of 6 national championships, it's because he didn't have hardly any. Yeah, he had some. I mean, I was looking the other day, and there was a picture. You had you look at those, and guys that Bama fans don't even think about it. Henry Ruggs and, T.J. Yeldon and those guys. Those guys were terrific players, but everybody's all talking about Bryce and Tua and Derrick Henry and all that stuff. To say, well, those misses didn't have anything to do with winning 6 national championships. No, because there weren't any. There were fewer than anybody else.
Look, the only number 8 that Alabama fans will appreciate and revel about is Julio Jones. And being number 8 in the recruiting rankings is not what they want to see. And I didn't think I'd ever, and I heard it back pre-Saban. But you think about it. Hey, the 8's good. 8's okay. We'll take an 8. Wait, come on. Don't give me that. People would be freaking out if Alabama didn't finish in the top 3. Now the top 8's okay?
Yeah.
Come on.
Somebody acknowledge Bob here. Why would there be blame for a top 8 class? What an idiotic thought. I love Bob. Man, he is not afraid of calling you guys idiots. And, I mean, you're the dregs of society, according to
Bob.
Love it. He'll throw that out there, man. You got to love it. Take a break. Coming up, more in a moment, including...
We got more yet. We're going to go through some other schools, too. Don't you worry.
Oh, yeah. Including the Phantom's Daily Dog.
We might ought to do that when we come back, and then we can get back into this recruiting stuff. Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. Thinking. John Longshore is live at Stivers Ford Lincoln, Eastern Boulevard of the Troy Highway in Montgomery. I'm Barry McKnight. I am in Mobile, Alabama. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Phoenix Physical Therapy is ready to help patients recover, recharge, and rise. They develop a customized therapy plan for each patient to get them back to enjoying their favorite activities. Their experienced team is committed to providing exceptional care in a professional environment. Whether you're looking to prevent or treat an injury, recover from a recent illness, or recuperate from surgery, schedule an appointment with our clinic and take advantage of our physical therapy, athletic training, workers' comp, and employer solutions service. Experience elevated physical therapy today. Call Phoenix Physical Therapy at 239-9316. That's 239-9316.
It doesn't matter if you're running drills at the park, playing pickup on a Saturday, or sinking the final putt. When you compete with your friends with Michelob Ultra on the line, competition isn't that friendly. The trash talk, next level, and the stakes, those are crystal clear. With only 95 calories and superior smooth taste, it's the ultimate trophy. Superior is worth playing for. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025, Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Located just 8 miles north of Alabama's state capital, Capitol Hill features 3 18-hole championship courses. With more than 1,500 acres of golf and nature, the pure magnitude of this facility is amazing and allows each course to be drastically different from the others. Capitol Hill also features an innovative 360-degree driving range, 400 yards in diameter. Capitol Hill offers a fully stocked pro shop with the latest equipment and apparel. Great food and beverages in the clubhouse can be enjoyed both before and after your round. Get your group together and hit the trail. Go to rtjgolf.com/Capitol Hill for tee times and more information.
All right, welcome back in, everybody. About 25 minutes past the hour. Just a quick recap before we get into the Phantoms Daily Dog, just so everybody knows where we are here. We're going to touch back on this in just a moment. But in 2023, Alabama's football recruiting class was ranked number 1 in the ESPN 300. They went back and re-ranked it 3 years later to see if those players were still there, and they're at number 8. Is that a trend? Is that something that Alabama can withstand under Kalen DeBoer, or do they need to get that recruiting ranking back up there closer to number 1 where Nick Saban had it? Leave it at that. All right, here we go. So we're going to get, hit that mic one there, Tom, for me. Here we go. We're going to get that going there.
There you go. Yep. It's a constant battle. All right.
So you want to go over the Daily Dog? Is that what you're asking? Okay.
Well, the schedule dictates. We have this particular time set aside for the Daily Dog. A lot of times, I have to remind you. It's like, okay, if we must. There are other times when I say, hey, it's about time, and you're like, already? Do we have? Yeah, okay, I guess we have to. Yes.
I guess we have to. Contractually bound to do it.
What's the tone of this?
Okay, Barry, here's the deal. I'm glad you asked. Last night, we delved into the American Conference. Are you familiar with that?
Yes, I am. Yes. Yeah.
I wonder if our viewers and listeners are very aware.
It used to be called the AAC. They've simply just called themselves the American now.
Correct.
Which they should have from the start, to be honest.
So, Barry, we had a little game last night involving the 16-10 Tulane Green Wave going up against the 15-12. And these numbers might have been different. These might have been updated since the game last night.
They have been. Yeah, they have been. Yes.
Against the Mean Green of North Texas.
So it's the Mean Green against the Green Wave.
Correct.
In this
a lot
one.
Of green.
It was a home game for North Texas last night.
A home game in which they were laying 6.5 in this game. They had a 4-point lead at halftime, did North Texas. Had a 4-point lead at home, crowd feeling pretty good about themselves. But maybe Nate Oates went into the Tulane locker room, Barry, and motivated the Green Wave because they came out in the second half and outscored North Texas by 10, winning the game by 6 and catching 6.5. Beautiful.
Yes.
That's what we're looking for.
What was anybody worried at halftime? I mean, come on. Tulane wins and they cover, which again, we say it all the time, which is which shows the spirit of brotherhood and generosity within the Phantom's heart. I'll tell you what, if you cover for me, treat yourself. Go ahead and win the game outright.
When you get back home to New Orleans, go get you a good po' boy and put it on my tab.
That's exactly right. Maybe a hurricane or something. Why not? Yeah.
I'm telling you. So Tulane on the road wins outright, catching 6.5. Another Phantom Daily Dog winner. So let's go to this weekend.
All right, here we go. This is because of our Friday show. This is always tradition. The whole weekend is open.
True. It's up for grabs. We look for the best play throughout the weekend. Not a lot of games to choose from on Fridays. Not a lot of college action. The NBA is getting back started after the All-Star break. Barry, I got to spend this weekend figuring out what teams in the NBA are tanking it, what teams are playing load management, all this business, because it's really hard to handicap the NBA until you can focus in on about the 10 to 15 teams that are still trying.
Yeah,
really want to play.
There's nothing like playing somebody in the NBA. I mean, playing like betting on somebody in the NBA and thinking, okay, I like this, and they're leading. They're actually covering. All right, they're leading and everything, and all of a sudden, for some reason, the head coach pulls 3 starters, and you're like, what?
Yeah, come on.
It's because it's hard to bet on a team to win when they don't want to win.
Well, Barry, that's why you probably won't hear me picking Kansas in men's basketball, because they got a hot shot player that got hamstring injury.
Yeah, Peterson.
Doesn't want to play.
He is
18 in the first half, points to the bench and say, I'm out.
He is playing 1 year of college basketball, Darren Peterson.
Yeah.
Because the rules say he has to play 1 year of college basketball. He has to spend 1 year out of. He is a top 5 pick, maybe a top 3 pick. Great player. He ain't doing anything for Kansas that might jeopardize that.
No, not at all.
Hangnail. He ain't playing because he may have an off shooting night with a bad hangnail. It'll cost him millions in the NBA draft. If he turns an ankle, if he stubs a toe, he is taking himself out, and who needs that?
Yep, that's not a team player, but I'm not sure college athletics is built around team players anymore.
Yeah.
Just my observation. Okay,
right.
So what's the dog this weekend? I'm glad you asked. Here's where we're going, Barry. We're going to go to college basketball.
Okay, all right.
We're going to go to the Southeastern Conference.
I'm on it.
A full slate of games tomorrow beginning at 11 a.m. on ESPN. Florida is at Ole Miss.
Yes.
The last game is Kentucky at Auburn and A&M at Oklahoma. Those are the late games.
This is one of – there are 4 SEC games on ESPN.
True.
A quadruple header. 11 o'clock.
Oh, yeah. Love it.
3 o'clock. 5 o'clock.
11, 1,
3,
and 7:30.
7:30.
Yep.
Correct.
All right. And 4 on the SEC network as well. We're going to look at one of these games that is on ESPN tomorrow, Barry.
All right.
Where a team that has a 9-4 conference record is going on the road facing a team with an 8-5 conference record. And that team with the 9-4 conference record is a 3.5-point underdog. Now, albeit it is on the road, it is a rivalry game. Tennessee is 19-7 overall, facing a 21-5 Vanderbilt team.
Yeah.
In Memorial Gymnasium in Nashville.
1 o'clock.
Tennessee's catching 3.5 in this game. I find that quite interesting.
That is interesting. That's
I don't like to go back and kind of say, well, what happened, maybe earlier in the year. Matter of fact, Barry, this will be the first matchup between Tennessee and Vanderbilt. It's kind of late because they're going to play twice, but they're playing Saturday and then they play again on March the 7th.
All right.
That game will be in Knoxville. Tomorrow it's in Nashville. And I think we talked about this a little earlier when we talked about Mercer, Northern Kentucky. Never heard of them. North Florida,
the North,
Rice,
yes,
Tennessee State, Rutgers. Some of these teams that Vandy played early. Those were some teams that Tennessee played earlier.
Right? Yeah.
Excuse me. But Tennessee also played Houston, Kansas, Syracuse, Illinois. Wow, Louisville. I mean, Tennessee said, "Okay, we're gonna kind of get our feet wet, and then we're gonna really start playing some competition." So Tennessee's been tested.
Yeah.
Vanderbilt, Lipscomb. That school's like down the street from Vanderbilt, I believe.
Yeah, maybe 1.5 miles, 2 miles, something like that. Yeah.
UCF, Eastern Kentucky, Arkansas Pine Bluff, Texas Southern, VCU, St. Mary's, SMU, Central Arkansas. You catch my drift. You see where I'm coming from here. Not falling into that trap, Barry.
No.
We're taking Tennessee, probably going to be very well represented tomorrow. A lot of orange there in Nashville. Yeah. We're grabbing the 3.5, taking Tennessee in a game. We think they could maybe win outright. We're going to take the 3.5 just in case.
Again,
at Vanderbilt. There you have it. Phantom's Daily Dog.
Volunteers have won 7 of their last 8.
Yeah.
Vanderbilt 5-5 in their last 10. Okay. Duke Miles ain't playing, former Troy Trojan, Montgomery native. I don't get it, but hey, John, if they might as well put a big bow on that one because that's a gift.
Yeah, I kind of like that one tomorrow.
Yep, right.
It's all about, it's a business decision. That's what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
So there's where you have it there. That's the Phantom's Daily Dog. When we return, I think Will Fisher from RTJ Golf's going to hop on for just a moment. And then we're going to wrap up our recruiting segment as well that we touched on earlier today. So we got a lot going on here live from Stivers Ford in Montgomery. Truck month sales event going on. Come by and see our friends. It's going to be a beautiful weekend, Bear. See, the sun is coming out, and I've got to go put Kelly's banner back in front of her because I know the sun's probably shining on her right now. I thought it was going to be cloudy till we got out of here today, but the sun is out, so it's a great day to come check out all the great deals here at Stivers Ford in Montgomery.
Chris the Bammer and Plainsman Preston, they have combined for the last, I think, 17 tweets here. Man, when these guys get rolling, Chris and Preston, you might want to try to wedge a chat in there because those guys are en fuego. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
At Dixie Overhead Door, we specialize in top-quality garage door solutions for homes across Alabama and Georgia. In need of a garage door repair or a brand new garage door installation, our expert team delivers fast, reliable service with local expertise that you can trust, providing customized solutions and exceptional care every step of the way. Visit us today at DixieOverheadDoor.com and experience the Dixie difference.
Why Hands? At Hands Heating and Air, you get this area's highest ranked service provider with 24-hour repair service, no overtime charges, and their same-day service guarantee. Plus, instead of other companies' 30-day repair warranty, Hands gives you a 3-year repair warranty. Hands Heating and Air is here for you 24/7, 365. And service is not just something they do, it's their way of operating, for you in mind. All of Hands employees are trained to adhere to this standard. They work hard to ensure that this standard is maintained, and they are constantly looking for new ways to better serve you. Call Hands Heating and Air today at 508-5382. That's 508-5382, or find them on the web at 834hands.com.
It's Longshore and McKnight. Without the Longshore for a moment, it is our Friday show, and we've got a lot to get to in a short amount of time. Hopefully we'll get Will Fisher, but if not, we're set and ready to go with, again, our Gurn Jr. Victoryland 777 topic wheel, and we'll go over some of the others, updating the recruiting classes several years back. And somebody texted me and they said, okay, that Alabama recruiting class in 2023 was ranked number 1 whenever they all signed. Well, where were the misses? I don't know. It's misses. I mean, a lot of guys have transferred out. Caleb Downs transferred out. Quay Russaw has transferred out. Justice Haynes has transferred out. James Smith has transferred out. Caden Proctor stayed. He's a 3-year starter and he's gone to the NFL. Is Caden Proctor, was he worthy of a 5-star? I mean, would anybody would anybody say that Caden Proctor paid off? That was that was a home run signing or something like that. So anyway,
I think that's debatable.
So anybody's asking about that. But in the true, where are they now spirit of things, those recruiting classes now with what they have actually, done on the field of play for their program, it's Ohio State 1, Notre Dame 2. They didn't make the college football playoff this year, but they played in the national championship game last year.
So, Barry, here's some teams that I don't think Alabama, and I know we're kind of picking on Alabama a little bit here, but they're the ones that have had these really highly rated recruiting classes. And they go back 3 years and they reevaluate, something that I've called for forever. I don't care what they're ranked today. Let me know what they're ranked 3 years from now.
Right.
A lot of people don't like to hear that. But Barry, when you got teams like Ohio State that has nitpicked players away from Alabama over the last 2 seasons, you got Notre Dame, say what you will about the Fighting Irish, but here they are at number 2.
They have not missed on many, hardly any. And they've done a really good job of retaining people. Although Kenny Minchie transferred out at quarterback. He's a quarterback at Kentucky because they've got a good one. It's going to be there for a little while named C.J. Carr. So, yeah, kudos to Notre Dame.
Is Miami, are we turning the clock back to the 80s when Miami was so dominant? I know they have a long way to go to get back there if they ever could. But the number 3 recruiting class, when it's reevaluated, watch out for them. Looks like they're putting that wall up, from like Orlando south. Nobody's coming down here to get our players.
And that's the big deal when Cristobal got the job. That was 2023 was his first full recruiting class, and people talk about all the transfers that he brings in. Carson Beck, and they've got Darian Mensah coming in. But you're right. That's been the key for them is they have made a line from Orange County, Florida, through Tampa and all that in South. They're keeping those people. Francis Mayoga, Reuben Bain, Mark Fletcher. Those are guys from South Florida who, in the past, John, were leaving South Florida ASAP. Yeah. So, yes.
That's right. So then we talk about Miami. And, there again, I don't think you want to hear that. Then here's those old Georgia Bulldogs. They finished number 2 3 years ago, reevaluated to number 4. So, okay, maybe Georgia fans don't like that either because they like to be up there in the top 3, but still ahead of somebody else that we've talked about, number 4.
Number 5. This is a surprise.
And the question everybody asks is Georgia the new dominant team in the league now? I don't know. Okay. Yeah, number 5. Look who's right behind them.
Speaking of Austin, the Texas Longhorns. What do you think about Texas? The last 3 years, they're 35-8. They were the number 3 class when they signed in 2023. Right now, they're at number 5. And remember, 2023 was the Arch Manning class. Didn't do much in 24, first full year as a starter. Last year was up and down, but, he's Arch Manning. Yeah. They have won a lot of games in 3 years. They have, but they haven't done what, and all the fans will give them a hard time. Well, they haven't won a national championship. Believe me, nobody is obsessing over that more than the people in Austin, Texas right now.
I agree. And I caught a lot of flack, Barry. I like the fact that Texas is in the SEC. I think it strengthens the overall league. Some fan bases are going, it's going to make things tougher for us. So be it. It's kind of like, we don't want to play them. We might lose.
Yeah.
Don't want to hear it. Love having them in the league. Oregon at 6. Well, where they're getting there. They got that Nike money. A&M at 7.
Right ahead of Alabama. Texas A&M is rated, after everything's said and done, as the number 7 class at Texas A&M ahead of Alabama. That included Marcel Reed, the quarterback, Reuben Owens. Did Texas A&M do a better job with their recruiting class, all told, than Alabama did in 2023? ESPN thinks so.
They think so. Oregon, not worried about them too far out west. A&M, you mentioned number 7, Alabama at 8. So there's 3 SEC schools where they re-ranked that are ahead of Alabama that were behind them 3 years ago. That's kind of my point there. How about number 9, Barry? This is going to surprise a lot of people.
Right behind, just on the heels of Alabama.
Yeah.
The Vanderbilt Commodores.
Man, show your gold.
Why can't we get C.J. Duncan on to talk about that? Instead, even better.
Yes.
Our man Will Fisher from Prattville site of the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail in Prattville, Alabama, joins us. Will, good morning. How you doing?
I am doing great. Let me tell you, I am not in Prattville today. Does anybody want to guess where I will be tomorrow at about 6:30?
6:30 tomorrow evening or
tomorrow
morning?
Evening.
Yeah.
Well, Tennessee plays Vanderbilt at 1:30.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Let's see.
There's one other big game that'll be taking place at about 6:30.
Duke? Are you in Pacific Palisades, California? I don't think so.
Duke, Michigan?
I am headed to the Duke, Michigan game.
How about you?
What a pull.
Yeah,
What a
I
pull.
am. I'm taking one of my nephews. So we are flying out today out of Mobile direct to Washington, and we'll be at game day in the morning, and then the basketball game that afternoon.
Man, how exciting. That's going to be a great matchup. That is Duke. And we were talking about that earlier, Will.
We were.
You just don't see these type of games this late in the regular season.
Yeah, you got Arizona, Houston tomorrow. I mean, the top 4 teams are playing each other in the regular season. That's the first time that's happened in when the conference game's going on in like forever. So good for you.
Yeah, absolutely. So I didn't know. I learned yesterday why Duke did the same thing last year with Illinois in Madison Square Garden. I learned yesterday why that was. So the ACC went back in conference games from 20 to 18 in hopes that their teams would do something like this to help bolster all of their teams' opportunities in the tournament. And so Duke has done it, and I don't think Duke will be beating Michigan by 40, which is what they did to Illinois last year. I'm going to tell you, this could be a really, really, really great game, a classic, if you will. But I could see either team getting beat up pretty bad too. Michigan. I think Michigan and Duke both rank in your KenPom rankings 1 and 2, and so they're both right now going into this weekend are the top 2 favorites to win a national title based on KenPom.
Yeah. I'm with you.
Right.
Let me ask you about the SEC. I was asked this yesterday, Will. Florida seems to be the cream of the crop in the league, which I stated my personal opinion. I think they are. I think a lot of people would agree. But I was asked what other teams can compete. I threw in Arkansas, Alabama, and Tennessee. 5 regular season games left. What are your thoughts about how the SEC regular season is going to pan out?
Yeah, I think I think it's probably going to come down to Arkansas. I think it's probably going to come down to Alabama. And that game last night or 2 nights ago was definitely a big deal. And so, I mean, it's a huge, huge win for Alabama and Nate Oates. But I think, when you as far as the regular season goes, I think it's going to be Florida number 1.
Yeah.
I know they didn't look great at the first part of the year, but they've got it going now, and they've put it together. Xavier Lee has played much better in the second half of this season. And so, Boogie as well is playing much better as well. So, listen, as a whole, Florida is probably your number 1 team. And then I would say probably, solely in my opinion, if you watched 2 nights ago, you wouldn't come away with thinking that either team plays defense. But it seems like over the course of the season, Arkansas has played a little bit better defense than Alabama.
Yep.
Both teams are going to have to improve defensively if they want to go deep in March and April. But I think you're going to look at – I think it'll finish up probably going to be with that game 2 nights ago, probably Florida number 1, Alabama 2, Arkansas 3. I don't see Alabama losing a game. I know they've got Auburn. But they've got Auburn at home, if I'm not mistaken. So that's going to be hard to do, and Auburn just can't put up points right now.
Yeah,
they can't guard anybody either.
Right,
their
correct.
defense
That's correct.
Been tough.
Well, you got to put up some points so that you give an opportunity for the defense to reset. If you're a shoot, miss a long rebound, and the other team runs it out against you, there's not going to be much defense. Right.
There's been a lot of that. Let's talk about Capitol Hill and the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail in Prattville. 54 holes. How are things looking on the course?
Man, we are in really good shape. And obviously it's been an unbelievable last week and a half with temperatures and everything. So it's unusual to have a week, of February where you have days in the mid 70s, almost to 80s. but people have taken advantage of it, which is good. So we've been busy, but man, we are in great shape, and we're getting ready for the season. We've got a huge demo day coming up on the 14th of March, which is a
I saw that.
Saturday.
Yep.
Yeah, so our tailor-made tour van is coming back through, and people will kind of, will be like, tour van, what is that? Well, really what it is TaylorMade comes out. We have a stable full of filters that come out with TaylorMade. And if you get any drivers, fairway woods, hybrids, or wedges that day, they're going to make them for you right there, and you're going to be able to walk away and take them with you and go play golf that day. Any iron sets, because of loft and lie angles and that kind of stuff, irons are going to be made at the factory as they normally are and be shipped to you. But it's a unique experience to be able to get your driver. If you wanted a new 4D quad driver, then you can get fit for that, and they will build it right there for you to those specifications, and you can take it and go home with it that day.
And when is that again, Will?
That's going to be on March the 14th.
Love it. Holy smokes.
I got to ask you one other thing before we let you go. You mentioned the temperatures this week been really nice, 75 up into the upper 70s. Not the case out in L.A. for the Genesis. I'm watching it last night. These guys got stocking caps on, hoodies, jackets, the wind's blowing. Scheffler came. I mean, he's like 4 over. What's going on out there? What's going on with Scheffler in the first round of golf tournaments, I guess is what I ought to ask you.
Correct. Yeah, it was like that on Sunday at Pebble. It was really cold and windy, rainy, and I think people will, look at Pebble and say, well, you're right there on the coast. You're right there, in that valley. And so, yes, you would see some of that. I think, it's not unusual, but you're right. I don't think you would think that in Palisades. I need to be careful how I say this, but the last time the wind was blowing, there were sparks and houses going up.
Yeah,
so,
boy, no kidding.
Right.
Yes.
So hopefully none of that this time around. But, Riviera, in my opinion, is one of the hidden gems. It's not a hidden gem, but it's just not talked about. It is one of the legacy golf courses on the PGA Tour. And so, listen, I think that the weather will calm down a little bit as we get into the weekend. But, this is big boy golf. And, and I want to know, I think you asked me, but I really want to know, is there a traveling shrink with Scotty Scheffler? Because what happens on Thursday and Friday is totally different than what happens on
Saturday and Sunday.
Correct.
Yep. Right.
Yeah.
We saw it at Waste Management. You saw it at Pebble. Looks like we're going to potentially see it again at Riviera.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I tell you what, the other thing that I thought was really neat, and you got to be careful not to get your hopes up, but from the press conference with Tiger saying that he wasn't quite ready to rule out the Masters in 26.
Love it.
I love any time that Tiger wants to tee it up. And the other big news from that press conference was he did not shut the door on a Champions deal and said that he would never take a card on the PGA Tour, but that since everybody has already been doing it for decades on the Champions, that why not just join in? So I think we're going to get to see some Tiger on the Champions Tour, which is awesome. I mean, he is, for me, for my age, guys, he's my Jack Nicklaus, right?
Sure.
So for the guys that are, in their 70s and their 80s and 60s, 70s, and 80s, Jack was their guy or Palmer was their guy. He's that for us.
We'll let our viewers and listeners know how they can make tee times and get more information there at Capitol Hill.
Yeah, they can give us a call at 334-285-1114. You can check us out on the web at rtjgolf.com/Capitol Hill. Come out, play some golf. If you haven't bought your trail card, come get your trail card for the 26th season. It's going to be an awesome season.
Always great to visit with you, Will. We appreciate you very much. Talk with you again soon.
Have fun at the game.
Absolutely, guys. Y'all have a great weekend.
Take care.
Too, yeah. Man, what a game. Going to the Duke, Michigan game tomorrow. Wow.
285-1114. We'll get probably an abbreviated version of the Gurn Junior Victoryland 777 topic wheel coming up. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
All guests of Longshore McKnight appear on the City of Montgomery guest hotline. Check out the most interesting and informed personalities in sports covering Auburn, Alabama, Troy, ASU, and all the major teams from across the country. John and Barry have the best guests brought to you by the City of Montgomery. To find out everything you need to know that is going on in the capital city, check out montgomeryal.gov. That's montgomeryal.gov, the capital of dreams.
Love is in the air, and so is your chance to win during Victoryland Casino's BMW and 25K giveaway. Drive away in a brand new BMW or win your share of $25,000 in free play. The more you visit, the more chances you have to win. Stop by the Players Club and fall in love with this month's exciting free play promotions. There's more ways to win at Victoryland Casino, where you can be a winner too. Located off I-85 exit 22 in Shorter, Alabama. Drawings February 27th and 28th. Must be 21 or older. Must be present to win.
Okay, we're back at it. I see the wheel, Barry. It is up, ready to go. 5 topics today on the Victoryland 777 topic wheel, where you can be a winner too.
Here we go. All totally unknown to us, researched and curated by Gurn Jr., our producer. We begin with not giving it up.
Oh, boy, this reminds me of high school. Barry.
Easy now. Easy, easy. All right, this is J.J. Spawn had to decline a request from the USGA. There's J.J. All right there. At the Genesis, he was asked if the USGA ever asked him for a meaningful club from his victory to keep for its archives. He said, yeah, they asked, but he didn't let him have it. He said, unfortunately, I can't. That thing's not ready to be retired, especially after that putt. That's a 64-footer to win the Open.
Yeah, come on.
I ain't giving that putter to nobody. I don't care if it's the USGA or nobody.
How about just a replica of it? Would that not suffice?
Yeah. Here's a picture of it. Yeah. Totally get that. Yeah, JJ, I'm surprised they'd even ask. No, of course not.
Awesome.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah,
Love
there we
it.
go. That's a good one. That's a good one to start. He ain't giving it up.
I like that. Not giving that thing up.
All right, let's go to it. We've got 4 here. Yeah.
All right, 4 to go. Here we go. Doubtful.
Yeah, this could be.
John, you going to the Alabama-East Carolina game?
Doubtful. Yes. Team Canada semifinals against Czechia up at the Olympics. Penguin star Sidney Crosby, one of the top 10 players in the history of the NHL, he had a hammy. In the quarterfinals. I wonder about this lower body injury. I think it's just a pull. There's 2 things involved in this. Number one, he really wants to play for Canada. Canada's women got beat by the Americans in the final. They really want to win because hockey in Canada is their national identity. But also, the Pittsburgh Penguins are probably saying, look, you did your thing, all that, but if you screw it up even more and you miss any time with us in the NHL season, we ain't going to be happy. So those are 2 things that probably play in this. You want to represent your country, but the Pittsburgh Penguins are saying, look, we got this contract with you right here. You better be ready.
That's interesting how they finagle that. That's got to be – it's kind of like the NBA guys. I know the season's over. They're not playing at the same time, but
I'm telling you,
hurt.
If MJ blew out a knee in 84 on the Dream Team or 88 on the Dream Team, that'd be the biggest waste of time in the history of ever, So, those are 2 factors in play.
But I'd still, if I had the ability to do that, I'd want a gold medal. I would love to have a gold medal. To me, that's the pinnacle of sport. Having a gold medal representing your country. So,
John, in race walking, give me I don't care. Give me a gold medal in team handball. Yeah, it's a gold medal. I
want to take that picture, when they bite the medal, I love it.
It'd be great. Yeah, back at it.
Let's go for the next 3. I think we can get them in. I know we can. Spinning. It's yellow, blue, and red.
It's always yellow, blue, and red.
It is. It's going to stop on hot.
Is this the Phantom? Hang on. Is this the Daily Dog? What are we talking about here? What do we got? Hot and cold.
Hot and cold.
Yeah, Scheffler last week, it was in Pebble Beach. Scheffler absolutely stunk it out loud on Thursday and Friday, but he shoots a 63 on Sunday.
How about that?
They didn't get through it all yesterday. It was an incomplete first round yesterday at Riviera. And there was rain and all that. It was mostly rain, but Scheffler, Good Lord. I mean, he's played terrible on Thursday and Friday. Oh, that's what Will was talking about.
That's right. Another example of you play golf in the rain, but for some reason you can't play baseball in the rain. Huh.
Why aren't you playing? What happened to the game? Well, it's raining. So
what?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, what else we got, Gurn?
Yeah.
Definitely can get them. Barry's got to hit that breakfast bar, but we got to get this wheel wrapped up first.
Yeah, I've already checked. They close at 9:30, so I'm okay.
Okay, you got plenty of time.
I thought it was 9:15. Here we go.
All right, here we go. Big Hall.
Big Hall. Oh, what was her name? I can't.
Bertha.
Anyway, yeah. All right.
Wait a minute. How do you steal 3 boats from the Bass Pro Shop?
In Nashville?
No way.
Oh, right. Roll Tide. Let's see. Bass Pro Shops used a pickup truck. It took him 3 days. Well, he drove a Chevrolet, so you knew he didn't have great taste. He stole a pontoon boat? Multiple boats at the Bass Pro Shop. Let's see. Dustin Nicholson.
Okay.
How in the world do you expect to get away with stealing a pontoon boat? You know, I mean, Pat Dye had a little bit of an event on a pontoon boat, and it's still part of urban legend today.
It sure is. Yeah, you better believe it is. Yes.
Ew.
Every time I see a pontoon boat, Barry, I think of Coach Dye.
Okay, here we go. The owner of the property in Lewisburg, Tennessee, where they ended up finding those 3 boats.
Yep.
He said that Dustin Nicholson had originally dropped those 3 stolen boats off at the mom's residence, at the property owner's mom's residence, but she decided to move them to her place to protect her mom.
Okay. Well,
so they've got, yeah. I mean, they'll steal stuff, but they ain't doing anything to mom. Okay.
Thinking about old mom. All right. Wow. You know, kids got to hook them up, got to put them on the trailer hitch. Wow. Okay.
Dare somebody to stop you. Okay, here we go. Last one.
All right. Last one. Got to spin it to make it official. It's going to be not clutch.
Oh.
There we go. Got to spin it to make it official. Not clutch. Huh? Who could this be?
Joseph Bulivas?
Ooh, ouch. Yeah.
No, not clutch.
Let's see what we got. We have a winner, and it's going to be not clutch.
Right now, we're wheels timing.
Mississippi State against Troy. He was pretty clutch, I understand.
Yeah. Geez. That guy was.
We have a computer lockup? No,
I think we did, because I'm getting the same thing. It's just gone.
Oh,
here we go. Nuggets falter in clutch time against the Clippers. Jokic, 31 years old. Jamal Murray. Not a flattering picture. I'll admit to that.
No.
Not a flattering picture of Tyrone Lue. Well, to read the rest of it, John has to cough up $1, and he ain't doing it. So there we go. That's it on our Gurn Jr. Victoryland 777 topic wheel. We finished with that, but we are just starting with the big Truck Month sales event on the 3rd weekend of Truck Month. That means opportunity is there for you right now at Stivers Ford Lincoln.
Barry, let me tell you about it. Built Ford Tough, 49 years, the F-Series, America's best-selling trucks. It is the Truck Month sales event, and this tag right here, we can put your name on it right there and hang this tag from the rear view mirror, and you can drive away with the America's best-selling truck, 49 years, ladies and gentlemen. Come out to our friends here at Stivers in Montgomery, Stivers Ford, where the Troy Highway meets the Eastern Boulevard. Come see our friends. They'll take care of you and put you in that F-150 you've been dreaming about. Let's make it a reality.
For our Friday show, it's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.